Scorpio, this is our August 2018 reading. This is my reading as well because I'm a Scorpio rising myself. If you're a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, or have major planets in Scorpio, then this is the reading for you. We are in middle of eclipse season. Eclipses are very close to my heart because my life path changed completely because of eclipses. Last month was a very intense month with the 27 July full moon total lunar eclipse at 4-degree Aquarius hit any planets that you had between 0 to 10 degrees at Scorpio pretty hard. So if you were born between 22nd October to 2nd November, you would have felt it really strongly. But all of us have felt very strongly this eclipse because it was the longest eclipse of the century, and Mars came closest to the Earth in a decade, hitting all of us. We are all Mars ruled and our planet was closest to Earth. I don't think any of us were prepared for the kind of heat that would generate, the kind of physical effect that eclipse would have on all of us. It was a bit of a shock, physically a shock as well as mentally a shock to some extent. I was physically overheated. It brought to light our home life, letting go some emotional baggage, patterns that we were carrying from probably our parents or past life, and it's letting go of place of living, emotional patterns that don't serve us anymore, and that eclipse will continue to pan out this month. That's why we are talking about it, because it just happened on 27th of July and the effect is most potent in the first month of the eclipse. You would continue to purge, you will continue to let go what's not working for you emotionally, you would continue to make physical changes in your home if that's what you started, and this would continue for this month as we are moving, relocating houses, putting in effort to improve the way we emotionally fulfill ourselves. Things will come out to open because this was a full moon. The light was thrown on our emotional health, so something will come out to the open if it hasn't so far. And it would bring a light to how we are sabotaging ourselves in terms of fulfilling ourselves emotionally. How are we accepting love in our life? How are we fulfilling ourselves in our relationships? Now, the axis of home and work will remain activated for the next 6 months. It's the opposition is also highlighted, right, in a full moon. So, moon is sitting in your home sector and sun is sitting in your business sector or your work sector. So, this opposition between your family life and your work life comes into play when a strong eclipse like that plays out. So, something might have come out at work as well, like maybe you've been paying too much attention to your emotional needs or to your family or to your house, and work has not been getting enough attention, for example. So that's one of the things that might have come up. And now the month of August is going to be focused very much on your work, your career, your role in the society. Jupiter is in our sign, especially benefiting us, blessing us. No matter where you're starting this month, no matter how you're feeling today, no matter how you felt during the eclipse of 27th of July, this month promises to end on a high note. That's the promise of this month. Sun is in Leo, focuses on our work, career, but it's not alone. North Node and Rahu is coming with it. It's igniting our hunger for growth. Cancer season last month, along with a heavy hitting eclipse, were all about going to the depth of how we are emotionally fulfilled or not. But Leo season for us is, what are we going to do about it? It's all about making it happen. As much as we crave for transformation, Scorpios, we are a fixed water sign. We also run away from changes. We resist the changes. We like stability in the key areas of our lives. And this month will leave us no choice. The change is inevitable. As this Sun and North Node combination is coming in our work sector, and it will not repeat for the next 19 years. Scorpios born between 22nd October to 2nd November, so early Scorpios, if you have Scorpios in early degrees, you will especially feel this urge, this desire to change things up, to shake things up in your career sector, especially if you're a Scorpio sun. and you're also the ones who are most affected by the last month's eclipse. So both your emotional houses as well as your work houses are rattled in the first week of August. You feel triggered to some extent. It ignites your resolve to close something. Adding to the fuel to this urge to change is the impulsiveness of Uranus. That's the Mars Uranus square that was playing a role in last month's eclipse, which is still active and exact actually on 1st and 2nd of August. Fixed signs are going through tremendous amount of change. That's the least thing I can say. This aspect can give us, and we have to look towards the positivity of this Mars Uranus square. This aspect can give us the internal courage to take the right steps that normally as a fixed sign we wouldn't want to do. We wouldn't want to confront, or we wouldn't want to shake things up in various aspects, the key aspects of our life. We like stability in our emotional house. We don't like to shift houses. I know that for myself. I just did that and it was horrendous. But we moved to a fabulous new place after that. We don't like to do that. We don't like to change partners. We want stability, commitment, longevity in our relationships, in our partners. We like stability at our work. So as a fixed sign, we like stability in the core areas of our lives. When Mars and Uranus comes together, our ruler, Mars is our ruler, it wants to shake things up. It wants to give us the courage, the impulsiveness to do something, to change things if they're not working for us, especially in our business and marriage partnerships. If we are accepting less than what we deserve, it gives you an edge, a nudge to move out of that situation. This is especially true for early Scorpios. But my request to you, and I'm not asking you to hang on to something that's not working for you, but right now is not the time to take an action, because Mars is moving backward and Mars is your ruler. It's not your actions taken right now will not work out positively for you. Mercury is also moving backwards, so we're not thinking clearly right now. When Mars is retrograde and Uranus is about to go retrograde as well next week, then it's like having a fully charged motor stuck in muddled water. The action taking right now will not work out, will not give the results that you're looking for. They will come out like a blast instead of coming out to be a productive action. Planets, when they're retrograde, they work with it. They want us to work internally. So this aspect is more about creating the internal urgency, creating the urge to make the change, and being ready and having the resolve to make it happen if you feel that it's not something that's working out for you. But Mars will move at the eclipse point in September, especially end of September. Mars will go direct. End of the month, in August itself, that's when the time to act will be. Beware of any accidents. Mars rules cars, fires, Uranus is electricity. So just be careful. We have seen a lot of incidents in terms of negative manifestation of this aspect in form of accidents and fires and electric appliances not working well, which is also part of the Mercury retrograde. Personally, for you as a Scorpio, beware of the inflammation, the heat that the body is producing, the muscles inflammation, head inflammation, skin issues that arrive because of inflammation. Be very careful of that. 5 planets at this time are retrograde. It's the time to take stock internally. That's what the first half of the month is about, but the energy changes tremendously in the second half of the month. You wouldn't believe where the month ends compared to where it started. Now let's discuss the build up to the highlight of this month. While the eclipse of last month is active this month, you have the last eclipse. You're closing the eclipse season in August with the 11th August solar eclipse as well in Leo. That's ending the eclipse season for you. Let's see the build up to that, because it's very important to see how we get there and how the energy is transforming as we get to this. This is your last edge, the last chance of completely transforming your career sector, your work sector for the next 19 years. So it's very important to pay attention to what's coming in front of you as a way up, as a build up to that eclipse. It's very important to pay attention to the events that are happening before the eclipse. First of all, on 6th of August, and that's next week, as I said, energy is slowly going to change. Venus moves into Libra. Venus rules Libra, so it's in its own sign. It's very strong when it's in its sign. It makes you feel comfortable. It's in your 12th house, in your restful house. It sobers up the negative effect that Mars might be having in your conversations with people, the edge that was coming out, the restlessness that was coming out. Venus has a sobering effect on that. It softens the rift that you might be experiencing. It eases the emotional discomfort that you're having in your relationships. It might prompt a little bit of sacrificing your ego as well, but there's no harm if it's for positivity for everybody. Relationships go more behind the scene for the first 2 weeks as well. I'll talk more about the romance and the about the love factor, which becomes more dominant in second half of the month, because career and work is more highlighted in the first part of the month. Letting things go, not get too bothered about the things that people are saying, becomes easier when Venus aspects Mars from 6th to 9th of August. Also, whatever pain has been brought out in light of 27 July eclipse, the intensity of that, the healing of that is helped with Venus in 12. The other thing is that Venus will also be squaring Saturn on 9th of August. Now, Saturn is in your third house of communication. You're working on your day-to-day things. It's about perfecting your art, your skills. It's also about resolving your relationships with your siblings. It's about creating, in a deeper sense, it's about creating your self-made wealth. Especially if you're a business owner, you will be working very hard on making your creative business come to life. And Venus squares Saturn during this time. The message of that is keep yourself honest in that. Keep working in the day-to-day. Don't lose sight of the day-to-day. Don't lose sight of being consistent in your day-to-day work, because these eclipses have that effect on us of us losing track of what we were supposed to do when. Like I'm late for these readings this month because of the house move that we are having. But it's just another reminder that you cannot let the focus go away from the practical, from producing ideas, from making your ideas work. The focus needs to be there. Lose what's not working. Yes, the focus is on losing anything in your personal relationships that's not working, but you cannot let go the sight on your day-to-day, on what you're creating in terms of your skill set. Another coolant to our heat is Uranus moving backward on 7th of August. That would make the changes more internal than external. So sudden events externally happening can moderate a little bit. That happens. Now, although love is not a focus for the first 2 weeks, but as I said, for early Scorpios, the Mars-Uranus dance would continue to irritate the personal relationships with the urge to break out. There's a possibility with the Venus square Saturn pattern and the Mars and Uranus happening together that some of the relationships for early Scorpio might come to a headway, might come to a point where you need to let them go. Now, again, as I said, it's on you. See how your circumstances are, but I would request to wait for any action in related to Mars, especially, which is your personal life, and Uranus right now, to be more internal than external, because your communication will not come out right, your thought process, your actions will not come out right, as your ruler is retrograde, which means that it appears to move backward from Earth. It's just not moving in the direction it should. Now comes the aspects which are coming together with the eclipse, that is Sun square Jupiter. This happens on 6th. So Sun is shining on our work sector and Jupiter is blessing us because Jupiter is in our sign. The planet of expansion, of good luck, is in our sign, and it starts squaring the Sun in our career sector. Even though it's a hard aspect, because square is a tough aspect, it's not an easy aspect, it still adds optimism to us. It still adds further good luck and confidence to us. It helps us beef up our ego, which a little bit of it, it has been deflated in this season. So we need a little bit of it. For many signs, this is not positive. because the square to Jupiter can make you deluded about yourself sometimes. But for us, the way it is that Jupiter is sitting in our first house right now, it's positively aspecting Scorpio, and we have been getting hit on our emotional side on our fourth house. So a Sun square Jupiter is very much required for Scorpios to put us on the right path, to see us more clearly, because right now a lot of us are doubting ourselves and our capability. So this offers the much needed respite and confidence that you need walking into an eclipse which is about to shake your work life. And because Sun dominates your work life as well, so if you don't have confidence in yourself, if you don't view yourself in positive light, it's very difficult to put yourself in positive light in front of everybody else. So the warning I've been giving are the signs is that don't go overboard, don't overpromise, don't chew too much, more than what you can swallow. Don't become too don't become too proud. Careful in rubbing other people the wrong way. But my thinking about Scorpio is that that wouldn't come down to it, because of the way Saturn is. Is sitting in your thinking sector. It's sitting in your mindset, already making you very conservative in how you look at yourself. It's hitting your emotional sectors. You're already being hit over there. You need this light. And Jupiter also squares Moon during the eclipse, which makes us have the much needed feel good energy. And that's the 6th to 11th of August aspects which trigger the changes. Another aspect that's happening is that Sun conjuncts Mercury in your 10th house. Now, both Mercury, the planet of communication, as well as Sun is sitting in your work sector, which makes the busy time at work on 8th of August. Now, Mercury is moving backwards. It's not moving in the right direction, which makes communication a little bit difficult. But to take advantage of this aspect, it's better to revisit some of the old projects that you've been working on. And instead of initiating new work projects, try to perfect the ones that you already have in existence, especially the ones that you initiated maybe in July. Try to rework them in August and do it. 11th of August, drum rolls. That's the new moon partial solar eclipse everybody has been talking about. It's happening at 18-degree Leo. It's hitting this point for the first time since 1999. If you were there in 1999, you can look back and see what happened at that time, because that exact point was activated in that year. If you are a Scorpio with 14 to 24 degree of Scorpio in your chart, which means that if you're a Scorpio Sun, then you were born between 8th of November to 18th of November, this eclipse will affect you significantly. I am not promising speed with this eclipse because Mercury is retrograde and it's making a very tight aspect with this eclipse, but I promise that this brings about the change that you're looking for at work over the next 6 months, especially if you're a Scorpio born between 8th of November to 18th of November, or a Scorpio with planets between 14 to 24 degree. Last 1 year, you might have been reeling under some sort of a loss that was triggered last year from August 2017 eclipse. And this is especially true for the Scorpios between about 15 to 20 degrees Scorpio. So similar range that I said, about 10 to 12 of November. That's especially true that a loss might have been triggered last year for you. That loss, this new start is like a balm on that. It sort of heals that loss that you have experienced over the last year. Next 6 months, you are bringing evolution in your work life to a conclusion, accelerating you towards your life path. Plus, Jupiter in your sign is blessing that path. It's a long-term cycle which is getting initiated, so don't take it lightly. Take the messages that are coming through during this time very, very seriously. You also have Jupiter squaring this and Jupiter in your sign, so luck is on your side. Mercury is retrograde. We may not be thinking clearly in terms of in terms of how good this job or this new opportunity or this change in title that is coming our way. We might need to work the details of the communication, and details will come in time. You don't have to be too hung up about the details at this stage. I'm telling you, when this comes to you on 11th of August, you will not clearly know what it is. You will not understand it fully what it is, because it will require some work. Planets are retrograde, things are very fuzzy right now. So and details will slowly get trickled in the coming later in the month. If you are getting very hassled about it, tap into your Saturn in third house. Look into details of what's coming your way. Look into the fine print. Look at it. Don't sign anything right now when Mercury is retrograde. We suggest not to sign anything. Wait for the end of the month to sign anything if you have to. At this stage, just focus on what's coming your way and getting into the bottom of it. If you are a Scorpio ascendant, sun or moon, be very careful of your health during this time, because Leo rules our heart, so it could speed up any issues that we might have related to heart, especially if it's blood pressure, stress, tiredness, inflammation of muscles that can get aggravated during this time. So just be careful of that. It doesn't happen to 100% people of the time, but it does trigger, it makes these health points more easy or susceptible to damage or issue during the time of the eclipse. If you're a Scorpio moon, this can easily bring about motherhood. So if it depends on whether you want it or not, but it's something to be aware of. If you're a Scorpio sun or ascendant, change in your health can also be triggered by that. How you look, change in your looks could be triggered by this, apart from the work change that I talk about. It squares you so these changes are not going to be easy to come. You'll have to put a lot of effort. You'll have to do a lot of work for these changes to come. Do the work, as next 2 years, 2019 onwards, are all focused on adventure, travel, higher education. I can't wait for that period to begin. Just know that for the next 6 months, you have to do the work. Now from 12th of August, Mars also moves into your communication houses, your business houses, your sales, your day-to-day, along with Saturn and Capricorn. In Capricorn, Mars is much stronger. It's brief, but till next 1 month, starting from 12th of August, it wants to help Saturn in your communication skills, in your writing skills, in your talents, in your speaking skills, in your sales, in your working hard for making your own wealth field, in the creativity field, the skill set that you're creating right now. Now you're working hard on it. Just be careful of sore throat, anger, rifts with the siblings to some extent. If sometime during next 2 weeks you feel that your voice isn't being heard by others, just review your message instead of going towards anger. One thing I want to use this transit for is to improve my thinking patterns, especially moving away from any negative thinking patterns. Working hard on some skill, it's exactly the right time for it, because the light at work is on you and your talents. Just control your talents, control your temper, think before you speak, go back to basic, relearn the information, use this transit for your advantage, rework any work that you might have done in mid of May, and you'll see that come out much better. So you won't have to really wait for that long, because Mercury will go direct on 19th of August and Mars will go direct on 27th of August. So the tide starts turning right a week after the eclipse of 11th of August. As Mercury goes direct, and it makes a positive aspect with Venus, aiding your communication skills at work, also bringing slowly the clarity that you have been looking at, the clear picture of what's emerging new at work will come about. A series of easier transits follow. Now in the series of the easier transit, the best transit that's setting you with the kiss of luck is Jupiter and Neptune coming together. This is a very rare transit. I talked about in May when these two planets came together, but Jupiter at that time was moving backwards. This is the last time in our lifetime Jupiter and Neptune will come together, because their next meeting will be after 150 years. So Jupiter is the planet of luck, of expansion. It's coming in positive connection with spirituality and healing planet Neptune. And when that is exact is 19th of August, while the transit is valid from 11th to 25th of August. When these two planets come together, this is sheer luck. This is sheer gamble and win all the money you want kind of an energy. It's a creative shot as well. The Scorpios that are most benefited by that are Scorpios born between November 5th to 12th, or if you have any planets between 12 to 18 degree of Scorpio, you are the beneficiary of this, though it will affect all of us positively. At the very least, it will enhance our intuition. And any coincidences, any dreams that are happening, any creative insights that are coming during this time between 11th to 25th of August, I would highly encourage you to note them down, because they could be very beneficial. It could be that you get a sudden download of a business idea that can turn out to be the next $1 billion idea for you, or becomes the next most creative venture that anybody has ever seen for you. So lightning can strike you during this time. Meditate and keep yourself, don't medicate, meditate yourself, and keep yourself open to receiving any information. Be careful of gaining excessive weight during this cycle. Overall Jupiter in first, because it expands everything. Just stay healthy, just try to stay healthy. This is such a feel good energy. I'm really looking forward to that. When it hit us in May, even when Jupiter was backward, it gave us a positive boost to creativity and overall positivity that we were having. On 23rd of August, Sun will move into Virgo in our social houses, and that's what is lit for the next 1 month from 23rd of August. As soon as Sun enters this, it forms a positive aspect with Uranus and Sun. I talked about it in last month as well, that we have a Grand Earth Trine activated, which is Saturn and Uranus are working in positive energy with each other. Saturn is reworking our communication houses, our self-made wealth, our day-to-day ability to handle communication, and Uranus is sitting in 7th house, changing our partnerships. So when Saturn, Uranus and Sun come together in social houses, they will manifest something in our social work, in our social network. They will bring about some network opportunities to us that would help us in our business ventures, or they would help us in our existing skill set, or we are working towards some new kind of unique partnerships using our old skills. This energy is very positive for people who have their own businesses, and if you're laying the foundation of your new business that would get tested, these partnerships will get tested in 2020. So be very careful who you're going into business with right now. You have your head on the shoulder, because Saturn is part of this whole equation, and it's a Earth Grand Trine, so it's grounded. It's not based in illusion. So just be sure what you're going into, because you would have to work very hard on that, and it would be tested in 2020. Sun and Saturn, when they come together, whatever rewards of the work that you've been doing on your communication skills or on your business will start showing results right now. When Sun and Uranus come together, some new person, a unique person will come into equation, and the Saturn Uranus factor working positively with each other is the energy of building something new on top of old. So either you bring some old colleagues into this new venture with you, or you meet some new people and help build some old skill set of yours, or business in your old skill set that you have. The net result of that is manifesting something really positive in your social network. Now, why is this important this month? Because this factors, at least Saturn and Uranus coming together, was already existing last month, and it will continue till November mid. When Sun comes into equation, obviously the manifestation in reality, in real quantitative terms, becomes even more evident to you. But what's happening is that the 26th of August, there is a full moon at 3 degree Pisces. That's in your fellow water sign, in your sector of joy, creativity, love and romance and children. So when this full moon is about culminations, right? So there is a sun and moon opposition which creates a full moon. The sun throws light on moon, illuminated it completely, and where moon is sitting, that part of your life gets highlighted. Moon on 26th of August is sitting in your love houses, in your creativity houses. Sun is sitting in your networking houses. Something is manifesting in your social network through a creative venture. This is a very rare configuration called Kite Conformation, because Saturn, Uranus, Sun are working in positive energy with each other. Then Moon, Saturn and Uranus will also work in positive energy with each other, giving you the creative spark. And Sun and Moon are in opposition to each other. Kite formation is very rare, guys. It's I don't know many astrologers who are talking about it. It's a very rare configuration, and it's happening at the end of the August, and you are affected because it's a water sign kind formation, because the opposition from the moon and Pisces plays a very active role in that. This is a creative spark. I think the second part of this month is all about manifesting your creativity and love life. So the first thing, the Jupiter and the Neptune aspect that I talked about, it's about creativity. It's also about meeting a soulmate. Soulmate energy is really highlighted, and Neptune is moving backward. There is no illusion. The person who comes in your life right now, especially if he or she is a co-worker, there's a possibility of a very long-term relationship with that person happening. This is, your love houses are lit in second half of the month. Also, if you find a new partner from a business perspective, the possibility of working with their in your joint venture and them benefiting in very unique ways to your business is very much a possibility as well. Again, early Scorpios, this is like retribution, right? Because the Aquarius eclipse of July hit you so hard. They are the biggest beneficiary of this aspect. The early Scorpios benefit the most out of the full moon on 26th of August. So guys, that's where we end the month. There's a minor aspect of Venus, Pluto coming in square with each other. It just intensifies your love life at the end of the month. Mars obviously moves direct on 27th of August, and more of that we're going to have in September when things start coming to action. We are through eclipse season and we made it. Good luck to all of us, and I'll see you in September. Thank you.